That's very inspiring. So before going to another brain, after being Algebra was acquired by Software Bank and I made success in that point, till now, what do you believe is missing a robotics field? Kind of question, missing pieces of understanding, question. Because we speak in academia, of course, there's effort, but as you mentioned, people say, well, I spent 15 years and you want to do something, and, which apparently you made it successful. But what kind of missing pieces to make a robot in that customer can use it? What kind of missing pieces, maybe of understanding or question, that is still missing nowadays?
It's very, very important to point, because for me, uh, humankind needs robots. We need robots for many, many aspects. We can go into that if you want, but they are needed. We're expecting them, but they are not at the level we're expecting them, and by far. What is missing? Hardware. First thing, and it's something that people don't really believe today, because we are in a digital world. So we think everything is digital. So the main problem of robots is artificial intelligence. Is data? Is it? No. The main problem is that robot has to deal with the real world. The main problem is robot have to deal with the real world, and the real world is messy. That means floors are not flat. If the robot is acting in my daughter's room, there are games, toys, socks. It's a messy place. So the world is messy. If you want to have robot behaving in the real world outside, or even autonomous cars are kind of robots, each situations are different. Everything is permanently different. So the real world is hard, is tough, is messy. And if we want to have mechanics and things acting in this real world, including the robot, we need to have, let's say, soft robots. When I'm saying soft, I don't mean they need to be very soft, like balloons or whatever. But if you have hard joints and limbs, they need to be articulated in a way that you can touch them, and they have to be soft. They have to accept that everything has to be adaptive.
Yeah.
So mechanics is very important. We probably have to invent new motors if we want to do robotics correctly. We need to invent new motors. We need to have robots that can interact with somebody without hurting him, and not because of the electronics and the software we will put to make the robot avoiding to hurt people, because it has to be passive. So they have to be passively safe. So it's a question of mechanics, it's a question of limbs, it's a question of motors. We need to invent electropolymers actuators. We need to have that working. Then we need to have sensors. And the sensors is a question that is not exactly, we can deal with the current sensors. But nature has chosen a totally different way than humankind. We think we have a great mind and a bright brain, and everything is coming from our brain. So we think that if we provide computers with great cameras, great accelerometers, and so on, then we will deal with these data and we will be able to do that. But if you look at how the nature has done, the nature is doing the opposite. That means if you look at a fly has 3 neurons, I don't know, less than in your toaster, and a fly is able to fly, to eat, to fuck, to behave in a very sophisticated way, without absolutely artificial intelligence, without a very quite electronic control. The nature has chosen the way to have millions of very poor quality sensors, millions of very cheap sensors, and it's a combination of very low quality sensors that is making ability to do all these questions. It's another way around. So hardware, actuators mainly, and sensors, and then of course kind of intelligence. We need to provide robots with intelligence, because today first thing somebody is doing in front of a humanoid robot is, hey robot, I'm here, I want to interact. And the robot is not understanding that somebody wants to interact. Well, in some cases, the robot is able to understand, but when you have 3 people or 10 people in front of the robot, no way. So the robot is totally stupid, unable to understand